Mods. They make or break a game, and it is no different in the Mount & Blade series. One of the main reasons that the original Mount & Blade Warband got to the status it is today was because of the massive array of modifications made by the community. But now Bannerlord is out, the mods have started rolling in. Yet modding tools aren't quite at the level to make those full total conversions, but they're in development, and that's what today's video is about. Today we're going to be looking over some of the best mods in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, and most of them I doubt you've ever heard of. In the Name of Jerusalem 2. Now, In the Name of Jerusalem 2 is the follow-up and continuation to the Warband mod of the same name, but the modification takes players to the Crusades, a vicious time of violence and death, all in the name of religion. The campaign map will expand to the edge of Romania, the Aegean Sea, North Iraq, and southern Caucasus, starting from about 1187 to 1204 during the Fourth Crusade. Currently, the Sham region is still the center of the map, but to expand from the original Warband mod, they're going to Caucasia from the east, the Balkans to the west, and to the north, the Black Sea, and the Red Sea in the south. Upon this, there'll be two new factions, the Bulgarian Empire and the Grand Principality of Serbia. It looks like they're taking what they did with the original mod and just blowing it up to the next level, which makes sense since Bannerlord offers much bigger map sizes and much bigger army sizes than the original Warband. Looking at screenshots we can see from the Bannerlord map development, it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into trying to make it as realistic as possible to how the world looked at the time. We get some pictures and screenshots of some of the troops and armors that they've been working on so far, such as the Kingdom of Jerusalem, the Roman Sultanate, and the amount of attention to detail and love that has been put into these arms and armors is very clear. They're really trying to focus this mod on history. They're not trying to add in any fantastical elements. This is trying to be true to what happened in the place at the time, how people interacted with each other, the factions that made alliances, and the weaponry and the equipment that people used back then. All of their dev blogs come with these screenshots of the assets they made, but also long bits of history about why they've chosen these assets, why they've chosen to make models the way they are, and how they'll be used throughout battle and in their modification, the relationship that these certain characters will have with each other, and how that was played out in history. And I think it's very important, and it's nice to see a development team that are really taking their time to do that historical research, to make sure that it's accurate, because if I know anything about the historical community, they get very angry if it's not historically accurate. I think out of many of the mods, In the Name of Jerusalem 2 is doing the best work and keeping people updated in terms of their development blogs. Not only, as I mentioned, have they been really in depth with what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it, but they're also one of the few mods to release regular bits of gameplay. You can see the Horse Archer gameplay in the background, showing off all the new assets and the new troops used throughout their modification. All in all, I'm really looking forward to this one. I can't wait to go on the Crusades, so if you guys want to go and check it out, of course, there'll be a link in the description. American Frontier is the mod from Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord that takes you to the Wild West. The mod starts in 1840 before the US-Mexico War, but the map will include Mexico and of course the US nations. There'll be the Union, the Confederates, and especially American native tribes. You can take over the US, create a new state, or you can even help natives retake their homeland. Maybe you want to join the Union, fight for what you believe in, or even the Confederation Army. Furthermore, you can expand into Mexico or to North America, taking territory as you see fit. It will be a look into the Wild West era that we haven't seen in many mods. Even back in Warband there were a couple, but there wasn't anything expanding too far on the relationships between the factions and the people around at the time. There's so much complex behavior when it comes to this time period, especially when it comes to the native people that were already there. And it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this, if hopefully done in a tasteful way. It's always trickier bringing firearms into a Bannerlord mod. We've rarely seen it done successful. There's so many relations to going back into the ancient time period or the Crusades because you have the similar types of weaponry, swords, bows, crossbows, and so on. Yet when it brings in firearms, it means that you have to code in completely new animations and of course physics to how the weapons work. And this is why I worry about these firearm focused mods. Although we do have some hope. I'll be showing you in a mod video very soon, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on if you haven't already, because that will show some advancements in how the firearms modding community has been going on so far. The mod, of course, is going to be focused mostly on single player, yet they do state that multiplayer will be an option throughout the modification. However, this mod is about choice. It's about choosing your way, and of course there's some grey areas in terms of morality, but you're going to have to make decisions throughout the game itself. I like mods that test your morality to which side that you take, and American Frontier is just one in another line of some fantastic mods coming to Bannerlord. This next mod, look, I'm going to have to play Kenshi, aren't I? I've had comments since the dawn of me starting YouTube. It's been practically every video. There's been someone that said, you should play Kenshi. Why haven't you played Kenshi yet? Look, I will. You know what, I actually bought the game Kenshi the other day, and I will start playing it because I wanted to make a video on it, but I haven't yet, and everyone is telling me to, which is why this mod really took my eye. I mean, Bannerkenshi, what a fantastic name. However, Balakenshi is a single-player total conversion mod for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord that aims to bring, of course, the world of Kenshi to the Bannerlord universe. They have a lot of similarities from what I've seen between the gameplay styles. They're both sandboxes, they're both RPG styles where you build up weapons and armors and you go around the world with your characters and finding people to interact with and make alliances with. The mod will have the full continent and campaign map from the game. All the major and minor factions, of course, will be in there with all the companions. The races will include humans, hive, shek, skeletons with new creatures, troop trees, and of course, weapons and armor. Whilst I haven't played Kenshi yet, it is on my cards. Trust me, stop telling me to play it. I will get round to it at some point. But the armies that you can build up throughout this mod look fantastic. The imagination when it comes to new different troops and ideas of how factions can work. Also, the video looking at some of the weapons in the crafting menu. They look unlike anything I've seen before. All in all, the purpose of this section really was just to tell you guys that I will play Kenshi eventually. But there is also a Bannerlord mod coming on it. So if you like that sort of thing, then I guess you're looking forward to this one. And hopefully, I would have played the game by that point. It has been over a millennia since the birth of Rome. As the city grew from a collective to a republic and finally into an empire, its reach is vast and territory expansive. However, it all threatens to come undone by chaos inside and outside its borders. Burning Empires is a historical total conversion mod for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, and we're being taken into the year 375 CE, 100 years before the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The fate of Rome is in our hands. Do we choose loyalty or victory? Do we expand or govern at home? It was a time of complete uncertainty. Whilst having so many civil wars within Rome itself, the threat from outside the barbarians was looming every single day. This mod is going to cover all these factors throughout the time period, with features such as, of course, the full map extending from Britannia to the Caspian Sea, encompassing as much as possible of the known world. There'll be 24 starting factions with historical lords for each and every one of them. There'll be, of course, accurate equipment historically based with swords, weaponry, armor, cavalry, and of course siege weaponry with new quests and religion systems. There'll be over 50 different companions that will be based around historical characters with unique backstories that you're going to be able to find throughout the worlds to recruit to your cause, all with their own unique abilities and advantages to having them in your party. Some of the most notable factions, of course, are the Western and Eastern Roman empires that I think are probably going to be the most popular to play with, but you also have the Picts, the Scots, the Saxons, the Franks, the Almans, the Burgundians, the Vandals, and it goes on and on and on. And they're all going to be playable throughout the game. And the reason I wanted to showcase this mod in the video was not necessarily because of the armor or the setting, even though it's very well known that I do love Rome, but it's the detail that they've been putting into the map making. We can see the screenshots, they look fantastic. And this is why it works, because the Empire faction in Bannerlord is based around the post-Roman Empire, the fall of what once was, and this means that a lot of the architecture and assets in the native game can be used in this modification. This is really one to look out for, so please make sure you go and check them out in the link in the description. And there we have it. There's so many more different modifications to cover that are coming out, but I can only do so many in a video before it gets stupidly long and stupidly difficult to fit into the time frame. However, if you guys want to go and check out any of this mod, there'll be linked in the description to see more and more of all the information that they've been bringing out, but of course I will cover them as soon as they are released. If there are any more you want me to check out, please leave a comment down below, but please leave a like on the video if you haven't already, or dislike it if you didn't enjoy it. But until then, I will see you in the next one.